Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Cigar Advisor Cigar Review panel, Cigar Review. I'm Gary Korb, and this month we are going to be evaluating the H. Upmann 180th Anniversary Churchill. Jared's going to have a few more details for you shortly, but first, let's meet the panel. He once dreamed that he was on a planet made of pizza with a moon like a big bowl of mozzarella cheese. It's Cigar Advisor writers and features editor Jared Gulick.
That's amore.
I want to go to there.
Okay, and the reason he remembers everything is because he has a brain like a jellyfish. It's Cigar Advisor writer and managing editor John Pruitt.
Spongy. Spongy.
Okay, well, anyhow, we are smoking the H. Upmann 180th Anniversary Churchill, and the cigars are made at Tabacalera AJ Fernandez in Esteli. It's a 7x50 Churchill, and the blend is all Nicaraguan, but the specifics have been undisclosed, other than the fact that the wrapper is a Nicaraguan Medio Tiempo made from a hybrid seed. The binder and the filler are also Nicaraguan. It comes in boxes of 10, which you'll find at famous-smoke.com. Okay, Jared, let's get the origin story from you and learn a little bit more about this anniversary smoke.
So yeah, as you said, AJ is making the cigar for them, and AJ's been making a lot of cigars for H. Upmann, if not all of them, it seems like these days.
Yeah.
But 180 years is a big deal. To put it another way, it's 20 years short of the bicentennial, or 68 years younger than the United States. That's pretty crazy. And they've been around the block once or twice in that amount of time.
Yeah.
I can imagine if you're going to survive the Cuban Revolution, 2 world wars, and all that other stuff, it's worthy of a celebration.
I say.
But the real sauce is what you said, the Medio Tiempo wrapper on this. Now, for those of you who don't know, Medio Tiempo is a rare type of leaf or priming on the tobacco plant. Now, at the top, you have the Corona, which Ligero is part of that. And above that, about 10% of the time, I'd say, you're going to get these extra leaves, which they're calling Medio Tiempo. They're really strong. They get all this sun, and especially in Nicaragua, that's going to lead to some pretty strong and flavorful tobaccos. So I think they picked a really good and albeit an expensive leaf, which is going to be evident in the price tag here. But I think we're in for a real treat when it comes to their 180th anniversary.
Thanks, Jared. Now, unfortunately, Paul isn't here today to share his thoughts, but we know that wherever he is, he would say, carry on, man.
That's true.
So let's start with JP. Give us an idea of what smokers will find when they open a box of these beautiful Churchills.
So the presentation is, obviously befitting of the price tag. You expect it's a $20 cigar, and it comes to you wrapped like one. The box is very nice. The presentation of the cigar itself got a very fancy footband and cap that goes on the end, which you'll see. And, open it up and you'll see that I think the construction is, very nice, kind of a leathery texture to this leaf.
Yeah.
This Medio Tiempo, little tooth, just a little bit of tooth.
A lot of oil, too.
Yeah, and it's dark brown. Is it Maduro? I don't know. It's dark, but it's some I found some people calling it Maduro. I think that's just the color as opposed to whether it's really the extra fermentation or anything like that. But some nice resistance, kind of squeezy. So good construction and an interesting kind of pre-light flavors, a dash of cinnamon in there.
Mhm.
So I think some of those spices that you're already talking about with the wrapper, they're coming through on that pre-light, along with some sweeter notes like raisin and the woodiness of oak.
Okay.
That's kind of
some of that.
the threefer there on the pre-light.
I kind of taste that like cinnamon toast kind of vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I taste that.
Well, first of all, I agree with John. It's absolutely gorgeous wrapper. You could say it's Maduro. It's very dark, natural, whatever. I think to Jared's point, it probably has to do with the way it's fermented, and it's at the very top of the plant. It got a lot of sun.
Like the Ligero.
So yeah, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be a little darker. I think I tell you, this was, and I would expect it at this price, to be just perfectly rolled, perfectly firm throughout. I got the standout flavors that I got from it, at least early on, was I found that it has like this sweetness to it, but the finish is peppery. I'm
Yes.
getting that peppery, and that is also,
I
I believe,
agree.
from the Medio Tiempo.
Oh, two.
Yeah, it's a
there
long lingering
yeah.
pepper, but it's not annoying. You know,
No,
like, sometimes it's annoying.
it's very subtle, but it's
Yeah.
kind of one of those things. It sticks to your palate for the entire time.
Mhm.
Like if you're a slow, and obviously take your time with something like this, but this is the kind of thing that the spice just hangs there on your palate for like the whole minute or so, or
Yeah.
however long in between.
I just had another cigar recently that was like that. It's
Yeah.
but basically, I'm also betting that these are very long aged tobaccos. This is a very well put together cigar.
Yeah.
I thought, like I said, the finish is spicy, maybe more in the. You know what I call this cinnamon with extreme prejudice.
What does
Like,
that mean?
yeah, it's really cinnamony. But the flavor then kind of moves back into a medium body sweet tobacco flavor after a
Okay.
couple of inches. So anyway, that's
Cinnamon with extreme prejudice. That sounds like something Michael Douglas would smoke falling
Oh
down.
my
you know?
God, yeah. So you said before licorice. I think it's more like molasses.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest here. I think that the reason I'm getting a licorice note is, full disclosure, I'm drinking black tea. So that's probably influencing the flavor a
Well,
bit.
and I'm drinking coffee, so maybe that's influencing my favorite.
So yeah, you're going to get a little bit more molasses. Mine's more licorice, but the end game here is that it's sweet. It's got
Yeah.
that inherent background sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
sure.
I'll tell you what though, I'm really impressed. We've beaten the horse to death about how AJ's been typecasted into this
Yeah.
flavor bomb blending monster, and he has solidly earned that rep.
Yeah.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, when he branches out and does something like this, or when he goes outside of his box like he did with the his own Cameroon blend, this is the type of stuff where he really spreads his wings, and it's like, wow, like
Mm.
incredible. And I really think that if we're looking at a plus $20 stick here, which, let's call it what it is, that's a lot to ask from anybody,
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think it's really worth it if you're looking for a celebratory cigar, if you're looking for something for, just that rare occasion where you just want to sit back and just disappear from the world for a while.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Um, any other notes in the first third, let's say, first few inches?
Leather and earth, and that long spicy finish just is. I mean, it cannot go unsaid enough time.
Leather, 100%.
Yeah, and earth that, or I should say, that long spicy finish can't be said enough times. So I mean, it's like right on the edge of like my kind of profile. Really
Yeah.
thick smoke, meaty, kind of leaves a lump in your throat. I mean, but it's only like medium strength right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It
not-
starts out in the medium.
So again, go back to your typecast comment, and it's like, AJ Fernandez blows the barn doors off.
Right.
No, not necessarily. This is actually, he's kind of easing into it today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to round out like right now.
Yeah.
It starts out a little, more peppery in there and that, but then everything starts to balance out. I found like by the halfway mark, the cigar was even creamier, and it really kind of stabilized. It just kind of found its groove, so to speak. It was sweet. I found it nutty, and it was never really overpowering at that
Yeah.
point. It wasn't.
I agree.
Here's the thing: I found that when Rafael Nodal and AJ worked together, I kind of like those blends more for some reason, because I think Rafael's sort of like
What's a
the
harness on it?
counterpoint. Yeah, because Rafael I know likes a sweeter cigar,
Yes.
more aromatic cigar. Asian, so they kind of.
So you're saying they bring
Yeah.
out the best in each other?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
really do.
Well,
I
I
think.
think that's probably their more full, like rounded body.
Mhm.
And when AJ's left to his own devices, they're kind of sharper, spicier, punchier, that kind of thing. I think,
Yeah.
Raphael's cigars are more, at least in my limited experience, has been, more rounded,
Mhm.
full kind
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, maybe a little sweeter.
Yeah, because I think you're talking about the second thirds, but it is spicier. So here's where the harnesses come off,
Okay.
and let's call the retrohale invigorating.
I just did it.
Yeah,
Life affirming?
almost,
Not bad.
almost. There's a nice coffee note to it, that gets to be right there.
Okay.
And that sweetness does arrive, and it's almost in the form of caramel.
I can see caramel.
Mm-hmm.
In this midsection, I'm getting more floral sweetness. Kind of getting
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like it's almost like a we always say that it's a Cuban-esque profile. I don't want to really say that.
Right.
But it's
Okay.
definitely like a floral or like maybe like imagine this is gonna sound weird, but imagine if like iceberg lettuce was sweet.
You're right. That does sound weird.
It does it does sound weird, but like I'm not trying to get all certain somebody in the industry
Yeah,
here with
yeah.
my flavor notes, but it just it's kind of strikes me as that it's almost got that aftertaste of lettuce, but with a sweetness to it.
I think what's interesting is we seem to have gotten a lot of different flavors between the three of us. I mean, I think we agree that it's sweet and spicy, right? But it's everything in between. Like the standout flavors for me were, I'm calling it a honeyed tobacco. It's like when, like I remember Nick Perdomo once, he would go into the bar and he would take like a bunch of tobacco leaves and he would like just, sniff them. And he said that honey, that's freshness, like
Yeah.
that there's like a sweetness to it. And that's what I was getting out of it. And then the other flavors that stood out were like some roasted nuts and black pepper, which is the finish. And then there was a little bit of leather in there.
Yeah.
What about the final third? What those last few inches? Did it change at all? What did you get at?
Yeah, final third, I think to your point, it continues to smooth out and it just feels like, the blanket's just getting smooth throughout the entire smoke. I found that the last third was just like I said, very smooth, but also had more of like the woody notes to it, a little bit of nuttiness to it.
That's what I got.
So
Yeah,
yeah, nuttiness, a little bit of toast. Not so much of the cinnamon that you were talking about anymore. That's more so
Gone. That's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
But definitely more of this like this nutty, sweet smoothness that's underscored by I almost want to say like a dark wood like oak.
Yes. All right. So we had a very similar experience in saying cigar.
It's like playing the match game with these two. Oh my God.
What about you, John?
Earth to me was the defining characteristic
Yeah,
in
there
this
was
last
earth in
section.
there.
So, and we're talking about, at this point, that's down this way
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So, and it's actually more mineral, less sweet.
Yeah.
Still medium body, however.
Okay.
I think for as much as we want to talk about it and we're almost anticipating that it's going to get strong, it never really gets strong.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of stays more meat. Ton of smoke though.
Oh yeah, it's a chimney. It is a chimney. If you spared no expense, then this could be a morning smoke. I'm just saying it's approachable in the morning, but
Yeah.
It is.
I
That's the
would
good part
not
about it. But
on that. To be fair, Pulo has a great point. This is not something you probably want to waste on a brand new palate in the morning. This is something you're gonna have after lunch.
Yeah.
and
It's
after dinner.
It's got some body. I mean, I'm glad I have a two McMuffin base that I'm smoking on top of here. And
Two.
and two hash browns.
Mm.
But well, you got to have a hearty breakfast when you're going to do some of these things. So, but yeah, I think approachable is probably right.
well. Anyway, I think we agree on just about everything that this cigar has to offer. So, John, maybe it's time to just wrap it up and tell everyone what we really thought of the cigar overall.
What do we really think? So I think the story here is the wrapper. Obviously, this Medio Tiempo.
Okay.
It's also the rarity. There's only how many 5,000 boxes?
5,000 boxes for May. That's it.
I'm honestly surprised they made that many with it being medium.
So that's 5,000 boxes of the Churchill. Apparently, there is also a Toro
Yes, but
that is like stupid rare that they made like
It's like a
100.
presentation box. Right?
It's a humidor that comes with 50 Toros, and they only made like less than 200.
I think, yeah, and they're only available in a retail store. You can't get them online.
And I think you got to know somebody and have a secret handshake, and they're that rare.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you really enjoy that, then I think something like that is worth selling.
Yes.
Seeking out. I find this very refined. I think we have not spoken that word yet, but I think that's what we've all been dancing around, is refined. But for $20, it better be, So I think so if you ask me who it's for,
Yeah.
I think there's a certain type of person who buys a box of these and sits on it for a while.
Oh,
But I
yeah,
think
they're
if
gonna do that.
yeah, but I think if you're not that certain type of person,
Uh-huh.
I'm not that certain type of person.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so like me, I would say round up a couple of pals, split a box, and save it for an occasion when you all get
Mhm.
together and smoke it. And that's it's worth it if you like it.
All right. Well, you and I are on the same plane there because when I was smoking this cigar, I said we could be looking at a perfect cigar here, is what I was thinking. And I was only about, a couple of inches into the cigar. It just really got me. I said, wow, this is right in my wheelhouse. And
Whispered sweet nothing.
You'd give this a 10 out
yeah,
of
I
10?
did. Huh?
10 out of 10 for you?
I'd say 9 out of 10.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why, because
That's impressive.
it kind of lost the sweetness near the end,
Mm-hmm.
but I still, I was still being able to appreciate all the other things that I was doing. I think this Medio Tiempo wrapper is really tremendous. And there's no doubt this is a fantastic after dinner cigar.
Yes.
And even though it's a little pricier than your average H. Upmann, I think any smoker could smoke it. Okay, with a little experience, I think you could enjoy the cigar, which I think makes it ideal for special occasions. And now we have the holidays coming up soon. This would be a great gift for someone who's a really, avid cigar smoker. Smoke wise, I think it's one of the more complex H. Upmanns I've had in a while. There were some really nice subtleties along the way. I had my sample with an espresso latte, and it was terrific. But I can imagine how good this might be with a good whiskey or a whiskey-based cocktail, something or a dark añejo rum. If Paul were here, he might say this H. Upmann 180th was like having the limited edition, gold-plated, ultra-high definition director's cut DVD set of The Sopranos with fully remastered soundtrack, all of the deleted scenes, plus commentary from the cast, crew, and director, David Chase, if there is such a thing.
And $5 from James.
Wow, you said all that this morning?
Yes.
So anyway, so here's the deal. For premium cigar brand to remain relevant after 180 years, think about this.
It's a feat in a
Yes.
Really, it's something to celebrate. I think one of you guys mentioned that before. And if you're in the market for a perfect celebration cigar, I really think that this, not only a collector's item, but this is really a terrific cigar to
Can I just
have.
jump in
Collection.
with one quick point?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've talked about price a lot with it
Yeah.
because there could be a certain amount of sticker shock, but you just said something that I think put it into complete perspective,
Oh, what was that?
which is the fact that it's a legacy brand that's been around for a
Yeah.
long time, and it is not it's not a budget. H. Upmann is not a budget brand.
No.
never has been.
So it's, so for a $20 cigar to be following up something that is usually, let's face it, it's a $10 or a $12 cigar any given day,
Right.
any H. Upmann. So that's not that far out
It's
of
not an egregious.
reality.
True. Yeah, the better
Yeah,
it
it's not-
It's not way out of perspective.
No.
So I think that's one thing to remember, that H. Upmann still carries a lot of cachet.
Yeah.
Again, I just think it's one of those higher tier brands. So to underserve it by saying that this is ridiculously expensive is in its own way kind of doing it disservice.
Yeah.
Don't let the sticker shock.
Yeah. All right, Jared, you want to wrap it up?
Honestly, let's talk.
Devil's.
I'm gonna triple down on price because it's
Yeah.
Okay. Think about it. What's on the headlines? And I don't want to get into politics or anything. Because everybody's crazy about prices right now.
Sure.
Everything's expensive.
Yeah, sure.
I know people have skipped out on vacations this year because things are, you're paying $700 for a box of eggs. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. So if maybe you've skipped that vacation this year or you're going light for the holidays, this is a way to kind of reward yourself without going crazy. I mean, you're not going to be looking at vacation money on
Right.
dropping the dough for a box of
Yeah.
a box of these cigars. So if you're looking to splurge on yourself just a little bit because it's been a rough summer, I think this is a really fantastic way to do it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. All right. That is our review of the H. Upmann 180th anniversary Churchill. Thanks to John and to Jared and to you for watching. Remember, you'll find the H. Upmann 180th anniversary Churchill cigars and the many other fine H. Upmann cigars at famous-smoke.com. Online, please follow us at cigaradvisor.com and on all of the other popular social media channels like Instagram. We got Rumble, we got X, right? We got Facebook and all the other great places you find us online. If you like this video, please check that like box and share it with your cigar smoking compadres. For Cigar Advisor, I'm Gary Korb. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on our next Cigar Advisor Cigar Review panel, Cigar Review.